Welcome to The Real in Real Estate, your gateway to the source. I'm so glad you're here. We're all about diving into the nitty-gritty of real estate, sharing insights, tips, and some awesome interviews straight from the industry's beating heart. From the latest trends to cool investment strategies, we've got you covered. Let's explore and uncover all the essential tools and knowledge you need for navigating the ever-evolving world of property and housing. Here we go. Good morning and welcome back to The Real in Real Estate, where we talk to the experts and get the facts and dispel some of the myths. And here today I am with Chris Panteli of Linkifi. It's a digital PR firm. So welcome, Chris. How are you?
Thank you for having me on, Jean. Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm excited you're here. Well, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and then a little bit about your company? This episode will be mostly for realtors or anyone that's in business. You can help all different kinds of walks of life.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Chris Panteli. I'm the co-founder of Linkifi. We're a digital link building PR agency. My business partner, he is an American. He's from Denver, but he is now an expat living in Porto. And we specialize in very high value premium placement links in really top tier publications. The reason that you would do that is twofold. One, to enhance your visibility in the Google search engine. So that's for your SEO, and then also to build your brand and your credibility with your customers.
Okay, great. Well, tell us how you work and what are these links and how does it benefit the consumer or your client?
Yeah, sure. So we have a lot of real estate clients. It's a space that we do really, really well in. And the main benefit, like I said, is for SEO. So if your website is appearing in the search engines for some of those lucrative search terms, so maybe the name of the area, estate agent, that's a really good place you want to be on the first page, ideally in the top 1, 2, 3 spots, because you're going to get a lot of clicks and then drive traffic, organic traffic to your website with a high search intent. So those people are actively searching for places to buy homes in that specific area. They've found your website. Obviously, not many people go beyond page 1. I think the joke is if you want to bury a dead body, you bury it on page 2 of Google.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the link building that we do, so the link, which is where you get featured in another website and they link back to your website, that is what can power up your SEO. If you're producing content for the website, you've got listings, the more links, good quality premium links that you have, you'll see a nice rise in your traffic, more organic traffic, more customers.
Okay, and I am in real estate, as are most of my listeners. Some are in other industries. Okay, I am not the techie person. That's why I hire people such as you to do this for me. So to clarify or to break it down, you would take my website or anyone's website and work your magic to create links that go help improve their SEO.
Yeah. Okay. So the way it works fundamentally, let's say you've got a real estate website in Houston, Texas. Okay. And you wanted to get some backlinks. You've heard about backlinks. You're getting some organic visitors to your website via Google. You're noticing that those people visiting your website are converting into customers. You don't have to pay for the actual traffic once you're in Google. It's quite long term, and you get that repeatedly. And you want to improve that and get more of that juicy organic traffic. What we do is we build links for you, and the way that we do that is via editorially earning those links from other websites. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. Primarily, one is with expert quotes. So that's where we will monitor incoming requests from journalists that might be writing an article on realtor.com. And in order to enhance that article, they might be looking for an expert to give some commentary on the subject matter of that article. And what we would do is we would pitch as you to that journalist. And then we would hopefully win that quote, and they would include the quote within the article. And in order to credit that quote, the journalist will almost certainly link back to your website. And that's how you get the link.
Wow. Well, of course, that sounds complicated to me, but you seem to make it sound pretty simple. But that's what you do behind the scenes, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. And then we can also do um, uh, actual PR campaigns where we'll actually go to the journalists. So we'll come up with a story, maybe something's happening in Houston, Texas, within the real estate market, or maybe there's a big event on. Um, or a particular time of year, we'll come up with something interesting. There was loads of really interesting PR stories when the Barbie movie came out, people wondering how much the Barbie house would cost in real life if it was to be built.
Right.
We'd come up with some data, we'd do some research, we'd find something that we think would really resonate with the journalists. We'd position your company as the expert that's come up with that data and that's presented that topic, those ideas. We'd build a hit list of journalists that we think are likely to respond positively to that and may want to run with that story. We'd go to outreach to those journalists, and then hopefully they pick it up and that would get published, and it would go on to big websites like New York Times, Realtor.com, Forbes. If it's a good campaign, it can go many places and you can get lots of links, and you'll start to see your traffic rise, your brand visibility. Also the local SEO aspect of it. So if you Google, real estate in my area, you really want to appear in that map pack where it's got the top of Google, the sort of two or
Yes.
three recommended real estate. That's where you want to be. And backlinks via digital PR is one of the best ways that you can help get there and then stay there as well.
Right. I think you just kind of referred to this, but I noticed on your website, I believe you referred to it as a badge that you put on
Press
your
badge.
website.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. Talk
Yeah.
to us about that. What exactly is that? Or how do you get that? Is
Okay, so if you've been featured in another website, then you're well within your right to put on your website that that's where you've been featured. You'll see this on many websites. When you land on the website, at the top, it'll have what we call like a press badge, and it'll say featured in, and then you might see 3 or 4 or 5 logos across the top of recognizable brands. Maybe you'll see Forbes, New York Times, New York Post. And that means that that website has been either quoted or linked to or featured in another in that like highly regarded publication. And that has many added benefits. So first and foremost, it's giving your customers instant trust in your business and brand when it lands on your site and it
of
sees that you've
course.
actually been featured in this, hugely recognizable publication. And then also, it's very important if you do have Google search traffic, at some point you'll have what's called like a manual inspection. So an actual human will come and land on your site, and they'll look around and they'll want to see that you are who you say you are, that you're trustworthy, that your content's trustworthy. And one of the signals that they look at for that is, have you actually been linked to from other trustworthy websites? So if
Oh,
you can show these people straight off the bat, this is where else I've been featured, it can really cement your credibility in the eyes of your customer and in Google.
okay. So you've got to really be set up with Google and all of its features, I assume, to make this work, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose almost all real estate agents will have, their eyes on that map pack. They should have their business profile set up.
Hmm.
Um, they'll be doing most things correctly. The backlinks is the fuel on the fire. So that's what will, if you think, your competitor, why are they there and I'm down here? Um, Really, the producing content for your site and getting backlinks, that's the two ingredients. And there are many different types of backlinks. So you'll have unscrupulous agencies maybe that will sell low tier, low quality backlinks. But what we do as an agency is we only get links that we as an agency have earned. So there's no exchange of payment. You're just paying us to do that groundwork. And real estate agents, they can do this themselves as well. And I'm happy to talk to you about that if you want to dive into that.
Absolutely, because that's what we're about here.
Okay, yeah. So the PR campaigns is a bit more legwork, but you can definitely get started with the expert quote commentary. So this is inbound requests from journalists. So journalists are always writing about things to do with homes, real
Yes.
estate locations, and then even broader like home staging. These topics are really interesting, and journalists are continually writing about these topics. And in order to make their articles better, so to satisfy their editors and to produce a quality piece of well-researched information for their readers, they will often source commentary externally. So if they're writing a piece on 10 ways to get your home ready for a staging, they may have written the bulk of that article themselves, but they may want to pepper into that article 2 or 3 comments from actual real estate agents that can bolster the credibility of what
Right.
it is that they've said. And you can find these requests on different platforms, different places. So one is if you just go onto Twitter and set, or now X, and set your alerts to the hashtag journo request and PR request. So
Oh,
all the journalists, if they're looking for expert commentary, they'll either use one of these 2 hashtags. And then you can also follow the journalists on Twitter that are writing for real estate or publications or news
okay.
publications that cover real estate, and set your alerts. So that's a completely free way to go about it. You can also sign up to a platform called Connectively, which used to be called
Mhm.
Harrow. And you can do 5 free pitches per month on that platform. And then if you
Oh,
did want to increase the number of pitches, I think you can do 20 pitches a month for about $20. So it's not very expensive. Now, you're not going to
okay.
win all of them. But if
Right.
you are an actual real estate agent with expertise, then I can guarantee once you've sent 2, 3, or 4, you'll probably land your first one.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So tell me about your process. How you, let's say I call you after this and say, okay, let's go. What do we do? What happens next?
Okay, yeah. So you buy a package, and then we'd onboard you. So we'd try and get as much information as possible as part of our onboarding process from our onboarding form. We want to know who you are, the person that we're going to be pitching as, your expertise, and that wouldn't just be a real estate agent. We'd want to know awards, accolades, previous, industry recognitions, so that we can start building out a pitch template for you. So that's the way that we're going to position you to the journalists through our response as an absolute expert within your field. Once we've done that, we then, as part of our in-house processes, we're scouring these inbound queries daily. And once we see a query that we think is a good fit, so let's say realtor.com, a journalist for realtor.com is just sourcing for an article they're writing about 5 ways to increase the value of your house
Mhm.
without spending much money. And we go, that's a good query. We would then assign that to you. And then we have a process of producing that pitch from our team of writers. It's then edited, and then rechecked, and then sent off back to the journalist. And then we then track to see if we've actually won that link, because some journalists are on very long lead times. So they can take, sometimes they'll publish the next day. Sometimes it could be a few weeks. Sometimes it can go into the months. So
Oh,
we're continually tracking to see if any of the pitches that we've sent have won. Because oftentimes the journalists, they'll either forget to link. So they may quote you, but they'll forget to link. And we'll go in and we'll nudge the journalist and say, hey, you quoted us on this. Would you be able to pop that link back in?
and then I assume you would notify us or your client when that happens.
Yeah, yeah. Our internal systems is you get like an email notification as soon as we've landed the link, and then you have like a dashboard and you can go and check the links that we've won.
Well, I assume you and your partner are not doing this by yourselves. Do you have a team?
Yeah, we have a team. Yeah, so me and my business partner, obviously we're the founders, and we have quite a big team. We've got pitch sorters, so a team that sorts the actual queries and assigns them to the relevant clients. Pitch writers who will put the pitches together. An editing team, so it goes through a round of editing. And then we also have, other members of the team outside of the actual pitch operations.
So you said writers. I assume if a quote is needed or a comment, um, let's say I would give you what I have to say and you rewrite it, or what is the writing part for? The writing
No,
piece.
yeah, we do everything. We do everything in house. So we actually, once you've like bought a package, it's completely hands off. You don't have to do anything. Um, we actually do all of the writing. So oftentimes the journalists, they're not looking for groundbreaking theories. They're just looking for interesting tidbits, things that have been said, but in with an interesting sort of linguistic flurry, maybe, or a quotable line. So we do ask for your permission to give us that freedom to, to pitch as you, but, rest assured, nothing will be said that's gonna make turn heads. It's all above board, and you're going to be happy with the comments that get included. And we have to be fast as well. I mean, these journalists sometimes take a long time to publish, but they want the responses quickly, within hours. So we'll do that. And obviously we have some health clients. We have retired nurses who do the health. We have people that have experience in real estate that do the real estate. So we match our writers with the industries that they're best suited for. But like I said, real estate is something that's just a wonderful space to be in, because there's so many stories in the news that relate to that space, and they're continually writing on that topic.
Well, let me ask you a question. With all the NAR issues that are going on right now and lawsuits, I would hate to be quoted and have something said that contradicts or violates any of the rules or new rules. How is that vetted before it goes out in my name?
We as part of our onboarding process, we can have things that don't want to be talked about, and then anything like that where it is like sort of legal, we can just avoid completely. So like I said, a lot of the times it's tips based pieces. So it might be, do you have a way to make your backyard look better before? So like I said, it's normally it's they're looking for experts. Maybe they'll say, do you have a way to looking for some commentary on locations that might be up and coming in the next year on the East Coast of the US, top 3 locations. So oftentimes there will be no there'll be no concern. And then some clients, they see the value in links. We've had clients with us now for 2 years, over 2 years, and their organic traffic has just gone up and up and up. And at the beginning, they were, could we have quite tight guidelines on what we would say? And we were like, of course. And as time's gone on, they've just said, we just want more and more links, as many links as we can get, so we can keep getting our traffic and our earnings and everything going up.
Well, you did mention, what other industries, in case someone out there is listening that's not in real estate, what other industries do you service or have serviced?
We do most. There are some industries which are better suited for the inbound requests from journalists, and some which are better for the more outbound, where we take the story to the journalists. But we do most industries. Health is a really great one. Obviously, health is always in the news. There's always writing about health topics. Real estate, home services is great. Technology, business, finance. Industries we don't do, like we will not do things like guns, pornography, unfortunately.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't want to be on that website category or associated with anyone that does that. Sorry.
But so we don't do those at all. But the most PR friendly topics we can do, and when I say that, I mean something that you think is of interest and is in the news. And if it becomes too niche, so let's say somebody owns a hermit crab website, they sell tanks for hermit crabs, something really narrowly niche. There isn't going to be any journalists, maybe once a year, even asking for information on hermit crab tank maintenance, let's say. But the way that we can work that is, it's all about the expertise of the person that you're pitching as, and how we can align that to the actual website. So we have clients that come to us and say, hey, I've got this hermit crab maintenance tank website. And we'll say, well, look, that's animals. That's quite closely linked to vets, marine biologists. Either you find someone on your team that's got those qualifications and we'll pitch as them, or if you can't, we can help you source someone, because we have a team of a network of experts that we can rely on. And we'll get that person visible on the client's website, and then we'll pitch as the vet working for that website. And that's a way that you can instantly add credibility to the website. And then also, when the journalist is sourcing for an expert in, a veterinary expert, which does happen a lot, then it does make sense for a vet to have, be associated with a hermit crab tank maintenance website.
I like the segue. Well, let me ask you about, I guess it's a 2-part question, timeline and results. So if I hired you, what would I, and I know every industry is different. What kind of time before I see some sort of results or I see some sort of connection? And what would be considered a successful relationship for our relationship?
Yeah.
A successful relationship.
That's a good question. Yeah. And it is hard to say because obviously Google is its own huge entity and things can move slowly. I would say it depends on a number of factors. So number one, what current stance is your website in? So if you're a real estate business or an online business that has no interest in SEO and Google or organic traffic, and you're not getting any traffic,
Yeah.
and you don't have any authority as a website algorithmically, then the results will be a lot quicker. Once we build one or two links in the first, month, few weeks, month, then you're gonna notice a nudge because you're telling Google straight away. As soon as Google sees those links, it goes, "Oh, what's this website? Oh, this I've never sent this website any traffic before. Why have they just been linked to from Realtor.com and the New York Times? Interesting." And you'll see everything happen much quicker. If
Yeah.
you're a more established website and you're getting, a few thousand, tens of thousands of organic visitors from Google monthly, it will take a little bit longer. But again, the more links you get and the more continuously you do this, the better the results.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Chris, how will people, we will have your contact information and in the podcast. And this will be on YouTube as well as your typical podcast. How do they reach you? Give us your website or whatever you want to give us here.
Yeah, sure. The website's Linkifi, .io, linkifi.io. And I'm on Twitter, Linkify _ and LinkedIn as well, Christopher Panteli, 1L. And yeah, I'm fast to reach out as well if you want to talk about it. I know people that if they're not in the space, they have questions. But yeah, well, I've got some YouTube videos as well, so you can check those out.
Okay. What, in our last few minutes here, what have I not asked you that would be important for people to know if they're thinking about getting someone with your expertise to help them? Did I miss anything?
Um, yeah. What would I advise them if to check?
Why yeah, why should they call you?
Okay.
What do you do that we haven't talked about yet? Or, give us your elevator speech if you haven't
Okay.
already.
So if I was a real estate agent, because we have a lot of clients come to us and they have a real sort of introductory understanding to Google and to what I've been talking about in terms of SEO. So what I would do is I would, as a real estate business, I'd go and look in Google now, and I would Google the name of your area plus real estate agents, maybe some smaller areas within your area, real estate agents, or that smaller area, homes for sale. And I would just see where are you in Google, and also
Okay.
see where you are in that map pack at the top, and just sort of try and get a sense of where you are.
Right.
Um, this is for people that haven't got a real good understanding of SEO and Google.
Sure.
And if you're sort of midway down page one or you're on page two and those keywords are high intent, like if you want somebody that's gone onto Google and searched for homes for sale in your area, and you can see the value in getting clicks because you're on page one in the top three positions. I mean, don't forget the top three positions take 90+% of the clicks. If you can see the value in, wow, I really want somebody. I mean, that's not a cold lead. That is someone actively wants to buy a home in your area. You
Right.
want them to land on your website. Like that's a really valuable, high search intent customer opportunity. So if you can see the value in that, then do some more research around it and definitely start thinking about the things you can do to improve it. And if you're already established and you're getting Google traffic, you have your Google Search Console graph, you're monitoring
Right.
it, you're looking at your traffic website and you want more traffic, then that's another reason. And finally, if you're a business that has experienced good traffic historically, so you used to get a lot of customers come to your agency from Google and you've noticed a decline, then a way that you can nudge that back in the right direction again is with links. So I would consider all those three options as a place to start thinking about if you want to take this as an option. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go Google myself and my website. And if I'm not on page one, I think I have absolutely need to call you back. And so does everyone else out there. So anyone listening, take his advice. Google yourself, see where you're at, decide if you need him, call him and ask him questions.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Jean.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us today. Again, Linkify, and we will have all of the contact information on the podcast. Thanks,
Thank you
Chris.
so much. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to The Real in Real Estate, your gateway to the source. Be sure not to miss our upcoming episodes loaded with fantastic insights, expert tips, and all the latest trends in the property scene. Don't forget to stay connected with us on our Trilogy Realty Group socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even TikTok. Until next time, take care.